Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus new moon for the month of April tarot oracle reading, and Libra, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Libra, we all have a little bit of Libra in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Libra in, that's where this energy will show up for you. This is a general or collective reading, so take what works for you, leave the rest. And also this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. Oh, and we have my co-pilot here. She's ready to sit on my lap and purr like a good little kitty. Cat's purr raises the vibration, so she takes her job very seriously. You got happy feet already. Yay. Okay, here we go. This is the world. So this is the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And it's talking about there's a significant change happening. So the world card is number 21 in the major arcana. And the Fool goes on his journey at the 0 point. And then the world card means, okay, that cycle's over. That's you've learned everything you can from there. It's time to start a new cycle. And then we have the internal forces coming in. So good, let's end this cycle. So this is talking about the cycle that you've ended here, I feel. The internal forces. So your internal forces are the what ifs in life. It's like when you're laying awake at night and you're saying, what if I do this and they do that? Or what if they do that and then I have to do this? Like woulda, shoulda, coulda, that kind of energy. And it can keep you up at night. This is talking about that trap, that mental prison. This person is standing here and they could walk away, but they don't feel they can walk away. They feel duty bound to something, so they're tied up, whether, you know, and this is being, the swords represent the element of air and your mental intelligence, your discipline of your mind, basically your thoughts. And, you know, we do express our thoughts through words, whether those be written or verbal. So this person is having to make it, has working through quite a lot of thoughts that, you know, and she's blindfolded, feels duty bound and feels trapped here. The water in tarot represents emotion. And I feel that when she started here, that there was way more water, and she's gone through 7 of these thoughts, and she's only got 1 more, and then she'll walk away. I just feel like there was a lot of emotion attached here, and when there's a lot of emotion, it can make it really challenging to make decisions. So this is an energy. She's got her right foot forward, and it's on dry ground, and then she still has her left foot in this puddle. But the puddle is shallow. So I'm not saying her emotions are shallow, but I feel there was a lot more emotion here to begin with. And then she worked through a lot of the, whatever this was. And this is the thought that's left that she wants to take action on. So she's almost ready. It's talking about your internal forces are a little bit discordant right now. You're overthinking is what's happening. And then we have discernment. Okay, so the Queen of Swords represents an energy of the Queen. She's considered to be the coldest queen of all the queens, but that's because she's been there, done that, has the t-shirt, has zero desire to repeat the experience. She doesn't want to put up with any more bullshit. She's got her left hand out, so she's willing to receive, but you better come into her straight up or she's going to say off with your head. And she has her head above the clouds, representing an energy of clarity. So she's very clear, and maybe for the first time in a while, and that would represent this energy here. So that's why a new cycle would be beginning. And then we have, okay, so there's some regret here, some remorse over some sort of relationship. And this is about love. The cups are about love, quite often romantic love, but it doesn't have to be. It can be about love for anyone or anything, basically. Also, it could be about something you love to do or be. And so this energy, this person is standing here in regret or remorse. Now, this may be regret or your regret or remorse, or it could be someone, because this is internal forces, it feels like you have regret or remorse. Now, it could be for your own actions, or it could be because of someone else's actions. You might regret being in having ever been in a relationship with this person. This is talking, this would be love. And quite often, you know, we have 2 cups here that are spilled. And these 2 had wine in them. And this one had some other liquid in it that maybe poisoned the relationship. And we have 2 cups standing here. And so this is sometimes can be talking about a couple who there's a third party energy that comes in and divides the couple, basically. So this energy is, you know, you could stand there and stare at those cups for the rest of your life, and some people do. Or you can turn around and be grateful for the 2 that are still standing, and walk down the path over troubled waters over this bridge and get back to your castle. Now the castle is half dilapidated and half standing, so that represents like an energy of, is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? What's your attitude going to be moving forward from this position, basically? And then we have the energy of the Hangman. I'm just double checking that my camera is working properly. Yes, okay. This is the second time I've done this reading. It was a weird reading. I was having so many difficulties with it, and I just cut it off and decided, okay, I have to redo this reading because I just didn't feel focused in it. It felt like there was like this energy around, like, and it's still kind of here, an energy that's it's not necessarily a negative energy, but it's a very, like, some sort of confusion in the air. I don't know what that's about, but like now it feels better. It's similar cards coming out, but just it just felt like it wasn't quite right for some reason. So this energy is the Hangman, and the Hangman is hanging from the tree of knowledge. He's upside down because he wants to gain a brand new perspective on something that he's thinking about and overthinking about, in my opinion here. And so his aura lights up, and when his aura lights up, then he knows, okay, now I'm going to take this action. And I feel that's representing this energy here. We have the Queen of Cups coming in. Queen of Cups represents an energy of unconditional love, like a lot of love. This is a maternal figure. So she has the cup on her lap. And this cup is a big cup. It's almost like a trophy, and there's a lid on it. And that it can represent the energy of she's a container for unconditional love. And so this is, quite often this can represent also, besides someone that someone might want to offer a cup of love to, because this is like, this would be someone who would be more in a traditional marriage, you know, like a 50s wife, kind of like staying at home with the children and running the household, and their partner out and about earning the money for the relationship, and like kind of like a stay-at-home mom energy, that kind of energy. Also, this can represent your maternal line, like from your mother's mother and her mother down the line. All right, so we have that coming in, and we have 3. Okay, so this card is talking about a celebration, but this isn't my favorite card. Like, I keep trying to give it a chance because a lot of readers do read this as a celebration of harvest or whatever, but I don't feel like no one's looking at each other. I don't even necessarily know how well they know each other, but they're all toasting something that has happened. Like, it's not an energy of, hey, you know, we did this together or anything. They might have been part of it together, but it's more like we've accomplished something. And quite often this can represent for me gossip and slander. And we have 3 cups here, and we have 3 cups here. This could, quite often, I feel like this energy represents maybe the third party energy when it comes up with this card here. So the thing is that they're not looking at each other. And in many cultures, when you don't look at someone, when you toast them, you actually cause, there's a superstition in Europe in particular, that if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, that you're going to cause them and yourself 7 years of bad luck in your romantic life. And so they get pretty upset if you don't look them in the eye when you toast them. And so it just feels, yeah, it would be like, why would you do that? You know, like it just doesn't feel quite right. We'll see. There's 10 cups here. So there is some cup energy here. This could represent an energy of you feeling like, because this is like it's a rainbow of cup energy. And this is saying that this is total fulfillment in a perfectly imperfect world. But sometimes this card can represent that you thought that's what you had, and then you didn't. And this represents, you know, having the partner that loves you and you love them, and the healthy children and the happy home and all of everything going perfectly in an imperfect world. As much as you could be fulfilled in an imperfect world, this would be it. But with the rainbow with it, sometimes it means this is what you're wishing for or you thought you had, and then you found out this energy here instead. And that's what's got you in this world. And that is probably why we have this energy of a cycle ending. So this is you right now. You're feeling pretty cold, like, and quite the sword cards have these little flocks of birds in the back on the royal face cards, and there's only one here, and this represents like the Queen of Swords out of all the queens is most likely to be divorced or separated. And sometimes that one that, you know, with her sword up like this, it can represent she's gone through something, and this could be making the choice to walk away from the relationship. And sometimes these thoughts she's put behind her, and now, you know, she's feeling duty bound. Maybe you have children or that kind of energy, and you don't want to disrupt their lives, but you have to do what's best for you at this point here. And this can represent also the thoughts of people that are speaking behind your back energy. And this could be people that, see, it's cutting her off from her castle here as well. And so it's just feeling like things weren't what you thought they were, and the people that you thought were, you know, had your back, didn't actually. And so this is talking about, you know, that remorse is talking about how you feel about your abundance. You feel like you've taken a big loss. For Libra in particular, Libra is the marriage card and justice. So it hit, this kind of energy hits the Libra energy really hard. This is talking about communication in early life. So the Hangman is kind of like trying to regain balance. So perhaps in your life when you were growing up, there was some sort of imbalance between your parents, and they got divorced, and you said, I'm never going to do what my parents do. But of course, we end up doing that a lot of the time. And then this is your emotional foundation. So you have a lot of love to give, and you were loving unconditionally. So the queen wasn't, the queen became, she was the queen of, this is saying she was the Queen of Cups. Very loving, and maybe stayed home with the children and was like, you know, a dutiful wife, kind of ran the household. And the husband was away a lot, and maybe he was away doing this, you know. This is creativity and also romance and children. So this could even be representative of an energy where someone impregnated someone else outside of the marriage, or that kind of energy. And this here is your health, daily routine, and habits. And I feel like, especially with it sitting here, it's saying that this is what you thought you had, this is what you wished for, this is what you were working on. And in the meantime, there was something going on behind your back here. And so you're looking at this whole situation with a new perspective. How am I going to shake up my routine? All of that. So that would explain the high level of emotion. And as it dissipates, you start making the choices that you need to move on into a new cycle here. So we have, yeah, look at this. The external forces card is like the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands, the pages would work for the King and Queen from 7 to 14 years of age. And this is an energy of communication coming in, or some sort of information coming in. And each of the pages has their own element. And this page has the element of fire, of passion. And the pages would work for the king and queens from the outlying families that were high, you know, and educated, like upper middle class and upper class families. Learn the ropes in the palace. And their main task when they were younger like this would be to just run communication back and forth and, run errands, etc., between the palace walls. And then when they got older, when they were 21, if they still were there and they could afford a horse, they might even be considered for knighthood. Having said that, this is an energy of communication because that was their main job. And the element here is fire. And this wand is made of wood because wood fuels fire. And it's about having a lot of passion. And as you can see, like the Page of Wands is someone who's very enthusiastic. Like think of a young masculine energy under 21. He's got a feather in his cap. He's ready to explore the world and all the mysteries of the world. There's the pyramids here representing that. Someone who really has an adventurous side. The thing is about the Page of Wands is that he really, really, really admires his wand. As you can see, he looks up to it. And so sometimes you have to take what he has to say with a grain of salt, because quite often he's thinking with his little head rather than his big head. And I think that may have gotten him into trouble. So this doesn't have to be someone who's young, but it could be someone who's in the energy of young. You could be a 50-year-old, which this would represent the age of what do you call that when middle age? I can't. It's a saying that they have for people who are in this energy. I can't think of the word right now because I'm in the middle of a reading. It's frustrating sometimes. It's on the tip of my tongue. It'll come to me probably at the end of this reading. But like this energy is talking about someone who stepped out probably. This is probably that energy. And so in the old days, the communication would of course be within the palace walls, but this energy, and it would be in person, but now this could be a woman in her masculine energy as well. Midlife crisis. This could be a midlife crisis, basically. That could be that kind of energy. And some sort of information came in to the Queen of Cups, and now she's the Queen of Swords. So her energy changed because of this information that came in. And this could be regarding this energy could be regarding this energy here. So nowadays, this could come in by a phone call. It could be a letter in the mail. It could be a text message, possibly an email. Maybe someone messages you on social media, or you see something on social media, and it triggers like, oh, there's something going on here. And I feel like yeah, there is something, there definitely was something going on here. And the Queen of Cups found out that her partner had stepped out. That's the energy I'm feeling. So this could be, they could be in regret for doing it, but this is remorse on your side because you thought you had this, and now everything in your life is being shaken up. And perhaps you have children and you're thinking about that as well, because now this is that duty bound, not knowing what to do. Should I stay or should I go kind of energy. Here we have it. So needing to put your mind to rest so that you can come to some sort of conclusion about what you're going to do about this situation. So this is representing an energy of needing to go inward and use your intuition. Maybe your intuition was telling you something was going on and you looked into it and then you found out because you put your energy into that. This energy here is talking about putting your mind to rest. And this is basically like hanging your mind on the wall so that you can feel with your intuition and feel what your heart wants. What are your authentic desires from your heart? So this can represent the subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind is developed by the time you're about 5 or 6 or 7. Babies are like sponges, so they absorb everything in their environment. You think of a newborn baby and how much they have to learn, in that first year alone. And so that's heavily imprinted on us. And also the energy of the people who are in charge of our care. How were they, what are their thoughts? That's kind of what the subconscious mind is made up of. And when we get really triggered, that's the mind that often comes up, and we end up saying and doing things that our parents would have said or done, or whoever was in charge of our care. And it's not the most reliable of all the minds. Then we have that, but it's the one that's imprinted the heaviest. And then we have the unconscious mind, which is the needs of the soul. A lot of people recognize, oh, I'm a human being with a soul, but from the soul's perspective, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and that's your vehicle for getting around. And if you don't get your, like if the soul's needs aren't met, then it can become very loud and start causing like this energy where you don't know what to do. And then we have the conscious mind, and that's like, I went to the store yesterday and I bumped into someone and they said, I think your husband's cheating on you. That's the kind of energy, and you remember it and you experienced it. I'm using that as an example. Hopefully that's not how you found out, but it could be. People could have been gossiping in the background because that's this energy here. So this is like now going to, this is representing going inward and wanting to connect with source energy, with God, and find out, what do I do about this situation? The window here, the stained glass window, the word Pax is on here, P-A-X, which represents peace of mind. And this is in your commitments, partnerships, and marriage position. So definitely you're really this is about making a decision about that energy. We have the Empress energy coming in. I guess this is the good news. Everything you've learned from here, we already have, we have 2 queens out here already. And the Empress is actually in the major arcana, and she represents the energy and the qualities of all 4 queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. So this is saying that because you've been through all this and what all you've gone through, and this journey that you've been on in this cycle has propelled you forward, and you're now more of an Empress energy. So it's not that there's not that many, it's not an easy journey being an Empress, because it means you've had enough life experience to know, to be in a position where you are, you've had enough life experience that you're like this, and you were like that. That's the best way of saying it, basically. But the Empress, if you're stepping into that energy, it means that you've healed, and going inward is the best way to do that. So you've decided to do what's best for you, because that's what you need to do. And this is talking about the Empress has this wheat growing at her feet, because she puts plans in place about how she's going to manifest. So if she's going to grow wheat in a field, she's going to choose the field. She's going to decide, okay, how does the soil need to be amended? Pick all the stones and the rocks so that when the equipment goes out, it doesn't get wrecked, seeding and then in harvest. And she's going to plant it at the most opportune time for wheat to be planted. And then she's going to just let nature take its course and do what it is. And she's not going to worry about it. She's going to keep an eye on it and just know that nature's going to do its thing and bring her in a bountiful harvest. And so she's considered to be pregnant with possibilities. Sometimes this card can actually represent a pregnancy. And I was picking that energy up in the last reading, that there could have been someone outside of this relationship that got married or got pregnant. And so there could be a baby on the way, but it's not within the confines of this relationship. And it's coming up here again that could be a possibility. This is that transition. So this is when your world changes and you become the Empress, and you're like, you're maybe not quite as unconditionally loving, but maybe you're more unconditionally loving about yourself, and maybe you needed to be. That's the kind of energy. Reconciliation. So this is talking about, this card represents reconciliation. Now, if there's going to be a reconciliation, then that would imply that there has to be forgiveness first. So you can forgive someone for something like this and forgive yourself and everybody involved without even speaking to them about it. And just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you want to have ever anything to do with them again. So it's not like that's what forgiveness is about. Forgiveness is about healing your side of it so that you don't have to carry that heavy weight anymore, and you can heal your heart so that maybe you can move on and have another relationship or whatever. So this sometimes can represent someone coming back from the past and saying, you know, hey, can we get back together kind of energy. So be very careful of this energy. People tend to show you who they are the first time around. That would be something up to you. But it's something like you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. We'll keep going and see. This is coming in from the external forces, so definitely sometimes this could just mean maybe this is someone you bump into now that you're an Empress, and it's someone from your past, and this opens the door for you to have another relationship of love. And it's someone you know but haven't had a relationship before, you know, you've been with this other partner. This also could represent an energy of just reuniting with your family and going back home to heal for a while, or that kind of energy. This card has a lot of illusions in it, though, because the Six of Cups, when you first look at it, looks like there's these two children playing with these potted plants in the yard. Someone's watching over them. But when you look more closely, you realize this is a gnome, this is a little lady, and she looks young from the front and looks like an old hag from the back. And you know, these flowers aren't the gnome's flowers to give away. So the old hag is like, no, we don't want your flowers. She just walks away. And they're both wearing this white mitt. So the white mitt is representing not wanting to get your hands dirty. This younger version is explaining to the gnome why she doesn't want the flowers. So this is people pleasing, and this is saying, are you going to be a people pleaser, or are you going to stand up for yourself and do what's best for you? And so the flowers themselves, the white flowers in tarot, represent innocence, but these are not innocent flowers. This is Datra. It's from the nightshade family, and it's very toxic for children and pets if they were to ingest this. So you would never let children play with this. And sometimes Datra is used by shamans to create visions to help people heal over heartache. So that's the kind of energy that we have here. And then we have this person in the background is actually walking away. He wasn't looking over him, it was just someone walking down the path. So there could be a lot of illusions from your childhood, there could be a relationship from your past, or maybe this energy is wanting to come in and say, will you forgive me, and can we have a reconciliation? That kind of energy. And then we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is coming in, and he's offering a true cup of love. So I feel like this King of Cups has been coming up in all the readings. And so there's a king out there somewhere that wants to offer an Empress a cup of love for sure. And this energy is, are you going to go for the old, or are you going to go for the new? Now the new moon that's coming in on the 17th is supporting all new energy. This would represent more of a Piscean energy, and the moon is actually moving from Pisces into the sign of Aries, and the new moon, and it is all about the new. This in Piscean energy, people are a lot more idealistic and more likely to be more forgiving, whereas but the King of Cups is not forgiving when it comes to betrayal. So, but I feel like this is the energy outside of you. So I feel like this is more like there's a new person wanting to come in and offer you a cup of love that would be one that's more of a solid offer. And this energy, he's out in the middle of all this water here. And he's, he's got his right foot forward also, just like this energy here. So he's ready to do it, but he's very emotionally intelligent. And so if he knows you've been through a lot, he might be waiting for you to heal so that he can ask you. This could be someone from your past, maybe someone from even your childhood, that you haven't seen in a long time. It represents kind of an energy of someone coming in, to offer a cup of love, and it's following this card here. So this can also represent this energy wanting to come back in for second choice. So maybe you've got this decision to make, but now you're in this energy. I feel like you're not going to match this energy at all. So let's see. I mean, that's up to you, of course. Like, you would know your situation if that's the case. But this new moon is a really good time to take action and make up your mind, and then and it's all about new and innovative energy. And it's also because it's in the sign of Aries, it's about asserting yourself. And it doesn't have to be abrasive, but it's talking about standing up for yourself and being your authentic self and not apologizing for it, like the Queen of Swords here. And it can also talk about if this isn't a matter of love and it was more a partnership in a business energy, then that energy would be talking about, you know, starting a new project. It's the perfect time to do it. So if you're walking away from something and wanting to start something new in a new cycle, this energy of the new moon coming up here really, really supports that energy. And then we have the Pentacles coming in. So Pentacles in the tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional plane. This is the first Pentacle card we have here. This is some information about some Pentacles coming in now. After you, you know, move into this new energy, if you choose to, like it's after the King of Cups, then all of a sudden Pentacles come in. So maybe the King of Cups is like really supportive of you and wants to, if you have a business or something, wants to back that business for you, or if you get married to this person, then it could represent an energy of just looking after you. And so this is this is the most slow-moving knight in the deck, and just like the page energy, you know, this same energy, it could be a phone call and all, you know, or a message, whatever, however it comes in. But the thing is, he's the slowest moving, but when he brings an offer in, it's usually a pretty solid offer. So the king might be offering you a cup of love and saying, hey, I have the money and the time and the energy to look after you properly, the way you deserve to be treated as an Empress. And if you're an Empress, you're already good at manifesting anyway. And I feel like that's the energy here, basically. We have, this nightmare. I feel like this is just saying the nightmare has now come to an end. Like if you choose to make the right, moving forward in the new energy, this can represent a never-ending nightmare where, you know, nothing ever changes. But I feel like if you make this change, if you go this route, you could end up back here. That's what this is saying. You could end up back in this energy. But if you choose the new energy, you could end up like that. Could be someone waking up from a dream in the wee hours of the morning, and the Holy Spirit has come down upon you to say, which way are you going to go here? You know, are you going to do what's best for you? Or are you going to go back to the old energy? Do you want to repeat that cycle again? Because this is your opportunity to end it and move into a brand new cycle and actually get what you thought you had before. So it's that kind of energy. I'm sure you'll make a strong choice. And so this is, you know, I'm talking about having to let go of, and I feel like there was like that, when the Queen of Cups loves, she loves hard, you know, like she'll give up people a lot of room, like she loves unconditionally. And some people really take that as, hey, I can get away with anything. But when if the Queen of Cups is betrayed, she can go into this energy and never speak to you again, kind of energy. Like it can be, she just doesn't feel the same about you anymore. It's just as plain and simple as that. So this is kind of like a sad reading, but in another way, it's talking about this, you know, half the marriages these days end in divorce. So it's not, there's probably several people watching this that maybe have been through this. Maybe you're thinking about taking someone back, you know, given, you know, like that would be, you would, you know, be the best judge of that. But generally people do tend to show you who they are the first time around. And you might want to consider that, especially if you have someone else in your life that would be like, that's coming in and maybe you've even met, you know, and you know, they would be someone that's emotionally available. They have, you know, they have the, you know, someone who's stable, basically. I do hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you're on your way out and you feel like, okay, this is good, I know what to do now. If you want more clarification, I'm going to do that. Give this a like and comment, please, if you have gotten benefit and you're going now. It really helps build my channel, and I appreciate it a lot. Also, you're more than welcome if you want to subscribe to the channel. I would be honored. And we're going to clarify now with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, T-A-I-L-S, from the Vector. And I do have a website, talesfromthevector.com. On that website, I have all the paintings that I did. I started them in 2007, and in 2020, I completed them. And the energy is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. And so a lot of futuristic dragons coming in from all around the world and parts of the universe. And I had a lot of fun doing it. I completed the final painting in 2020. There was 64 of them. And so the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the order they are on the gallery. And I will put them in the order they appear here. So if you want to check it out, you can. It might give you further information. This is the card that wants to come out here. So yeah, in the description box below, and the information for my website will be there, the order of the cards as they appear here. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor to make your life better. This cycle of being with someone who is in, maybe he's in an energy of midlife crisis. And remember, this could be a female as well in her masculine energy. So this could be someone who's going through menopause. And menopause is when, a woman gets so fed up with men that she takes a pause from them. So it's that kind of energy. So we'll see what's going on there. You'll have to figure it out. And I can see why. If you've been with someone for, a full cycle, it can be really challenging. We have traditional structure, and that's kind of confirming it. I feel like this was a traditional marriage. Generally, the Queen of Cups is in a traditional marriage. That's the type of energy she would be in with traditional structure. And this is also talking about, the energy of Libra is when you're mature enough to make a decision to get married and have a family. Like a lot of times when people make that decision, they're not really mature enough to make that decision, and they find out after, oh, I should not have said I was going to do that. So the Hierophant energy is like the traditional way. So this could be someone that could sign a divorce decree or that kind of energy. And we have Gemini energy coming in. So I just want to point out in my oracle, when the horoscope signs come out, I'm not talking about individual people. I'm talking about the energy of each of the signs. We all have a little bit of every sign in us, and we can all learn from each of the signs. Everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. So this is ruled by Mercury. It's communication, and it's kind of like that point in your life where when you're going to kindergarten, that's when you start to realize, oh, everybody's not like our family. Like there's you're going to school every day for half a day or whatever, and you're with kids, and maybe they have different color skin from you, and they have different cultures, and they do things differently, and their parents look very different from your parents. And you start to recognize, oh, everybody's family's not the same as mine, kind of energy. And so that's when you start having more of a conscious mind and less of a subconscious mind. And so that could be about learning, and Mercury is all about communication, being able to communicate in a strong way. And then we have an energy of the need to be right. So do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? This is talking about whenever there's a relationship breakdown like this, it takes two people. And so, yeah, one person might have been the one that stepped out or whatever, but it's still, you have to take responsibility for your part in it. And sometimes that can be really challenging, and people will be like, you have to get to the point where do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? So yeah, no, it can't be that person. It can't just be one person, their entire fault. there's some sort of energy, although it could be 90% the other person's fault and 10 yours. But if you don't take a look at it and figure out what can I change about myself and the way I approach relationships, then you could have a repeat. So the need to be right is just a karmic space we fall in when we really don't want to be wrong, or we feel really like our intuition's yelling at us. There's something going on in this relationship, but we don't want to see it, so we don't. Abuse of power. Yeah, and sometimes that's that kind of energy, you know, where if you have a container of unconditional love, sometimes people will really take advantage of that energy and say, oh, well, you know, they'll forgive me. They forgave me last time kind of energy. We have anger. And so this, I feel like, really triggered, like, you didn't deserve this, obviously. And no one does, to be, you know, disrespected in that way. But you don't want to hang on to anger for the rest of your life. You know, you'd rather be better than bitter, because it's just a gift that keeps on giving. And anger is very acidic, and quite often people will motivate themselves through anger. And anger, when you get in the karmic space of anger, it's quite often caused by the need to be right, and vice versa. And abuse of power, of course, causes all of that kind of energy. So this is talking about these three in particular go together. And then we have the Sagittarius energy, which is about adventure and world travel and wanting to expand. And it's that energy a lot of people are feeling coming in, because there's, you know, we've had a lot of energy of just in the past few months, a lot of signs or planets, 6 of them, have moved into the sign of Aries. And we're hanging out there together, and it's intense energy. It's all about the new, and wanting new. And so this kind of energy is like wanting to travel, wanting to experience new, shift, and that kind of energy, which could be played out as a midlife crisis kind of energy, or menopause. We have jealousy. Yeah, I'd rather be better than bitter. That's the kind of energy. Like, if you want to feel your anger, you might have righteous anger. You want to work through all these feelings, but you don't want to stay in this energy, because then you're not going to enjoy life. And that would be for sure how other people win, right? When you're in that position. If you say, you know, you just become bitter, then like that's a real sad thing. And so this is talking about bringing that harmony back into your life, even if after that has happened. That harmony does not have to mean that you forgive someone and have them come back into your life, though. We have temptation came in. So the devil energy for sure here. And so this is talking about partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So someone got tempted and stepped outside, I feel. And so when the devil card comes up like this, and it's like, you're not going to, it's a very manipulative energy. And you know, my devil card is a beautiful dragonfly, and she's adorned with Swarovski crystals on a hot pink background. The devil's not going to tempt you with something that you hate, you know, that's ugly. The devil's going to tempt you with something shiny and new and bright, that kind of energy. And then we have, so on top of that, we have the star energy. So definitely, this is someone that was taking advantage of this unconditional love, and just, you know, they'll take me back kind of energy. And I feel like this is saying you were innocent in this energy, but this is also saying that you're ready to be a star now. You're ready to step into this Empress role, because everything you've learned from this, and you were smart enough, it looks like you went and you meditated and you worked through this. So they may have been, while they were busy, like once you found this out, you made the effort to heal yourself so that you could move forward in a strong way. And now you're in this energy. This is transition of, and this is talking about the all-star energy. This is talking about using your third eye so that you can feel with your intuition, and as well as your logic to come to, you know, okay, this is the path that I'm going to take from this energy coming in at me. And again, and then we have Lovers here. So yeah, I feel like this person is trying to come back in now and say, will you forgive me, and that kind of energy. But I feel like you're not in that energy that you were here. This really changed you. And that's something I feel that you might have remorse because of what happened, but the person that did this is in a in a lot of regret, because you know, they lost unconditional love. You don't get unconditional love every day. So if someone, you know, and that's what this is talking about. I don't feel like you have someone else that wants to show you that unconditional love now. And, you know, it's more in fitting, because this would be like a person that matches your energy. You know, the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups coming together. It's a lot of love coming together. And the King also has unconditional love. So they understand, they can hold that vibration. And so this is talking about manifesting that now coming into your physical world. This is actually career and reputation and that kind of energy. So if you were a career mother and wife, basically, you could just continue that now, but with someone that actually has a lot of respect for that. And the judgment is coming in from the Most High saying, you deserve this. You were staying on your path, and you were doing everything that you could to be a good wife, a good mother, you know, that kind of energy. You did not deserve this. And so the judgment is coming in to unfetter your heart so you can have this with someone else, someone that you don't have to worry about. And on top of it, they have lots of pentacles. It's talking about a way better lifestyle. And look at this. You're on a foolhardy journey that you can anticipate. So this was this energy, just the overlying energy of this reading was talking about the end of one cycle, propelling you into this Empress energy so that your vibration is higher. And now that you have all this life experience, you know, like, what you're willing to put up with and what you're not. You're using your discernment, and there's no way you're putting up with that. You're not taking this person back. You're going to move forward and have what you want with someone that respects you. Really, really good energy here, Libra. It's a rough go, but so if, you know, wherever you are in this process, if you are in this process, and remember, if this isn't about love, this feels like this one's about romantic love, but sometimes it can be love of something you do, you know, or want to be. So it could be to do with a partner or something in business, or, you know, that kind of energy. So I do hope you have received something from this reading. Please do give a like and a comment, and a big energetic hug if you're going through this. This is rough energy, but I feel like I was happy to see the Empress come out here, because it just shows that you're recovering from it very well, or you will. Please do give a like and comment, and also consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I would be honored if you did so. Bye for now, Libra.